It's funny to me that INTJs online are portrayed to be very confrontational and argumentative because I personally believe that it's against our nature, sort of. Yes, when an INTJ is younger, we tend to argue a lot because we have a superiority complex. And you can't blame a young INTJ to feel superior because you throw us in school with everyone else. Don't forget that the first cognitive function for an INTJ is Papa introverted intuition, which means that we're able to grasp knowledge very easily and understand foreign concepts. So if you put us in rooms with other types that don't pick things up very quickly, of course we're going to feel smarter than everyone else because we've already learned the topic while everyone else is struggling. But that feeling goes away once the INTJ actually enters the workforce and actually has to engage with the world outside of school, outside of academia. The relationship between INTJ and conflict eventually changes. The moment that we realize that it's the reason why we lost a really great friendship, is one of the reasons why we got passed over for a promotion, and is the reason why you're an INTJ at the age of 35 and still single. So even though the INTJs get over the superiority complex, why are INTJs known to engage in conflict? It wouldn't make sense that that stereotype comes from purely observing the younger INTJs. I'm sure it goes deeper than that. My hypothesis as to why that stereotype exists for INTJs is not because of younger INTJs, but instead other types misunderstanding how an INTJ communicates. And before I continue this video, I saw a YouTube short from Melissa Talks that goes over this exact same topic. This is not a rebuttal to that clip. It's a normal INTJ issue, and it's something that I was writing before I even saw that clip. This is definitely not a new topic, and this is definitely not any type of response to the ENTP queen. I want everyone to understand that this is just me talking about something that I care about. There was this post on Reddit not too long ago from a wild ENTP that suggested putting 4 INTJs in a room together to see how we can outsmart each other. And the highest upvoted comment in this thread is essentially the INTJs aren't going to argue with each other. We're going to realize that we all have similarities and we're just going to chill with each other, because that's just how we are. So take that, ENTP. We're not going to play your games. And honestly, guys, I'm very proud for INTJs. I went into that thread thinking, oh my God, we're going to be edgelords and all these people are going to write all these different devious plans and shit. But to my surprise, most people in there are level-headed. It gives me a lot of hope that that subreddit can become better. And then I saw a video from the Taylor Swift of the Myers-Briggs community, Frank James, and he put a video about how if you put all 16 personalities in a room, who would win $1,000? You have to convince everyone else to win. And I call him the Taylor Swift of the Myers-Briggs community because he doesn't look like Taylor Swift. It's just everyone knows who he is. He's the most popular person out there, and he's paving the way for the rest of us content creators. Spoiler alert, if you intend to watch that video, I'll give you a few seconds so that you can turn this video off, go check that video out, and then come back. Welcome back. So the result of that video is that the INTJ won the competition by being deceitful. And I feel like I have to preface this. This is not a knock on the video because I personally enjoyed it. I laugh at a lot of his videos. The INTJ won the competition by talking about his ailing grandmother and how he was going to use that money to help her. And obviously, using the stereotype, the INTJ was just lying. I feel like if the skit was written by real INTJs to go over the INTJ, it would be more like this. The INTJ will formulate all these plans to win the prize money. However, the INTJ will give up on trying to win a prize money when he realizes that the INTJ has to talk to all these different people and have to convince them and have to prove to them that he deserves the money, and just gives up because of all the work that it entails. Then when the other type goes around and asks him why he's gonna use his money, he's just gonna say what's on his mind, say what's real, that his grandma's sick and that if he were to win the prize money, it would go to helping his grandmother. And somehow he would win. And when he wins, he doesn't understand why he won because he was just speaking his truth. And for some reason, all these people saw something that he didn't see because the INTJ is just saying what's on his mind. And if you're an INTJ, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're saying something and people say, oh, INTJ, you're so funny. Well, you're not even trying to be funny. Or INTJ, you're thinking way too much into this. And to the INTJ, we're like, I feel like this is the most basic way to look at this issue. Both of those examples are used to express how other types perceive INTJs. The INTJs are willing to engage in conflict if it has anything to do with your intellect, which I don't completely agree with. An INTJ at our healthiest will avoid conflict as much as we can. However, if you meet an INTJ at our lowest, I can't say that we won't cause conflict, but I personally can't agree that we will cause conflict. The challenges that the INTJs enjoy has to do with people or things that we perceive to be stronger than who we are so that we can gauge how strong we really are. Being the best in a room is not a high priority for an INTJ because if we're the best, that means there's not anyone else out there that can challenge us. And if there's no one to challenge us, why are we spending our time doing this? So INTJs don't typically have a competitive drive when we're amongst our peers with the same level or anyone lower than us, because we won't grow. Unless it's an opportunity to talk shit with the people that you actually are comfortable with, then yeah, we're gonna freaking win. Like, if we're gonna play Catan with people who trash talk or people who I know would troll the game, yeah, it's game on. Let's do this, because it's gonna be more fun actually talking shit or trolling everyone else than it is to win against people in this game of chance. That was a very long intro to this video, why INTJs like conflict, and I do believe that I narrowed it down to 3 primary reasons. The first reason is that the INTJ is unaware that we're even in a conversation of conflict. The second reason is what I like to call the battle of wits. And the last reason is that we feel compelled in order to confront you because you're spreading misinformation that's hurtful to yourself, the INTJ, or to whomever we're talking to. So let's begin. The first and easiest reason to go over is that the INTJ is unaware that this conversation is considered an argument. For an INTJ, this is a tale as old as time. If you and an INTJ are having a conversation, Papa NI is going to need clarity and Mama TE is trying to be helpful. So if the perceived conflict is in the form of the question, then it's the INTJ trying to find clarity because something doesn't make sense to us. And on the other hand, if the perceived conflict has to do with INTJs providing recommendations, we're just trying to be helpful. You need to state it very clearly to an INTJ if you just want to vent to us and just want us to listen, because INTJs will automatically operate in problem-solving mode if we're not told otherwise. And it's really odd being an INTJ, because when we're having those type of conversations, we notice that things are a little off, but we can't really tell exactly what it is. It happens pretty often too. It's so surprising for an INTJ when we're just having a regular conversation with someone and then all of a sudden we're accused of being argumentative or trying to cause any type of conflict. And if you're an INTJ, I'm pretty sure you said something similar to one of the following things whenever you're in the situation. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, why are you getting upset? No, that's not what I meant. And this usually leads to one of 2 outcomes. Either the INTJ tries to convince the person that we're not arguing, or it leads to an actual argument. Which the funny thing is, both of these are in the same outcome, because either way, it's still going to come off as if we're causing conflict because we're trying to explain it or we're actually arguing. What's seen is that we're causing conflict. The other outcome is that the INTJ is going to walk away, either because we don't want to deal with it or we just don't care, which further exacerbates the problem because then the other person will get upset that we don't care enough in order to fix the problem. Either way, the INTJ is left annoyed and as confused as ever. The second reason why I believe INTJs have that stereotype is what I like to call the battle of the wits. And guys, I can't properly express how fun the battle of wits is. It's mental sparring. INTJs have a difficult time going against logical reasoning if it doesn't have anything to do with anti-introverted feeling. So if we encounter a person that seems intelligent about topics that we're interested in, we're gonna ask them a lot of questions to see the depth of their knowledge. What was that? INTP, what are you doing here?
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you.
INTJ should have used the ability practicality because that's a weakness of the INTP. To most types, the battle of wit seems a bit uncomfortable. For an INTJ, it's fun as hell. INTJs love knowledge. So if we meet someone that has the same type of affinity, of course we're gonna love talking to them. Other types might see this as a debate, but it's not really a debate because a debate is when you're trying to convince the other party that your side is wrong and vice versa. This, on the other hand, is not necessarily trying to convince the other person that you're right or wrong, but instead an opportunity for both sides to be heard and for both sides to learn and grow together. The battle of wits may seem harsh from an outside perspective, because sometimes it does sound pretty harsh. A lot of the time, sarcasm might be used. Please tell me you don't believe that. Sometimes a person's intelligence is being questioned. Bro, you can't be that dense to believe that. And sometimes we roll our eyes so hard, it seems as if our eyes are gonna pop out of our sockets. Guys, I can't pop my eyes out of a socket, so I can't provide a visual indication of this. Sorry. Not only do we do this to see the depth of someone's knowledge, sometimes we do this for pure entertainment, to see how crazy the conversation will go. Those type of conversations are so absurd, but so fun to do because both sides understand that it's absurdity, but we're on the same wavelength. Have you considered boycotting beef? It's a huge contributor in global warming. Then we might as well boycott cars. It causes a lot of CO2 emissions. Then why stop there? We might as well tell every human being to stop breathing because we contribute to it too. But it won't be a problem if we convert every human to a cyborg and make sure we don't have to breathe in order to survive. But we can't do that because the Illuminatis are stopping us. What the fuck are these two talking about? I know that was a dumb example, but I just wanted to express how extreme those conversations could get. The TLDR of that is that we're just nerding out. Some of you might think I'm exaggerating, but it's a real thing because I get into the battle of wits with my ENTJ uncle all the damn time. Whenever we're together, we're on different sides of the political spectrum, and when we're together, we have the battle of wits all the time, to the point where my auntie, who is an ISFJ, and their daughter, my sister-in-law, and ISFJ as well, they always tell us, yo, you guys need to stop arguing because like you guys are causing like drama or something. And we would both look at each other and we'd be like, we're not arguing, we're just having a conversation. You know, like this is fun for us. And I also have an NTP friend too that like for some reason we can't have a normal conversation together. Like we get into those mental sparring matches every time we see each other. And I feel bad for his wife, this ENFP. She would have to just sit there and just watch us go back and forth at it. And she's always like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's just fun for us. The final reason why the INTJ seem as if we enjoy conflict is because you're either spreading misinformation about the INTJ, about yourself, or information that's hurtful to anyone else. If it has anything to do that might be harmful for anyone, that's a huge no-no for the INTJ. Harm in this sense is not only physical, it's also mental. And in this section, yes, the INTJ is going to cause conflict because we believe it's necessary. And this is going to be the shortest section too because this is the most common sense shit. Take care of each other. That's it. Just take care of each other. If you tell a person to microwave a metallic item, I'm going to get in both of your ways and tell you guys that's one of the dumbest ideas ever. And for those of you who don't understand why, it's because when you microwave something that's metal, it causes fire. Lastly, if you make an incorrect assumption of the intent of the INTJ, we're going to set you straight. We need to be authentic and we're drama adverse. So if we foresee that this might cause drama in the future, we're going to stop it now. You might get upset at the INTJ, that's fine, because the INTJ is just as upset. So in conclusion of section 3, yes, INTJ causes conflict. Yes, the INTJ is aware of it. And no, we're not going to apologize. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more content. This video was kind of personal to me because this is a situation that I find myself in very often when I was younger. Not so much now that I'm a little bit older, but it's still something that hurts me. It's something that actually developed my character into who I am today. And I want to hear people say, oh, INTJ, you're argumentative because of this, and this. I still tend to disagree with them because at the end of the day, it's all about perception. And if you believe I'm arguing, but I'm not arguing, then I don't think I'm arguing because I'm the person that's supposed to be arguing. But does that make me argumentative for saying that I'm not arguing? Guys, I don't understand this shit. Anyways, as always, thank you very much for watching this video. Bye.